Hey everyone, and welcome back to What I'm Drinking This Week. I'm Beverly Crandon, certified sommelier. If you're new here, this is where I talk about a wine I'm genuinely excited about, and this week, it's all about bubbles. The What I'm Drinking This Week wine feature is out of Italy. It's a Franciacorta from Cal de Bosco. It is their Cuvée Prestige Extra Brut Franciacorta Edition 47. As mentioned, sparkling wine out of Italy. I see Franciacorta as a great option if you're looking for something other than champagne. Made the same name, we'll get into that. This bottle from Cal del Bosco, if you want something fancy, but you want a wine, a sparkling that's still approachable, this is the wine for you. And let's talk about why I say so. So before we get into the wine, let's talk a little bit about the producer, Cal del Bosco. Who are they? They are a family-run operation in northern Italy in an area called Franciacorta in Lombardy, the Lombardy wine region. Guys, listen, Franciacorta is Italy's answer to champagne, both in style and in quality. The producer itself, Cal del Bosco, was founded in 1968, so a really long history. Started off making still wines, and then in the 70s started to make sparkling wines, and hence the Franciacorta we now have today. This producer is quite famously known for its attention that it gives to its grapes. The grapes that go into the bottle we're drinking today, for example, they go through something what the producer calls a berry spa. So it's like a whirlpool-like washing system, which consists of like 3 soaking tanks. And then the whole thing is ended with a tenuous process to dry the berries, to dry the grapes. Even though this sounds like a lot, I will tell you that attention to detail, you get it in the glass. These wines are clean, they're focused, and they're poised. Now, let's get into the wine. All right, let's get into the wine. What we're looking at here, again, today, as mentioned, was the Cal del Bosco, their Franciacorta. It is their Cuvée Prestige Extra Brut Franciacorta Edition 47. This wine is mostly made up of Chardonnay, so I think it's something like 77% Chardonnay, 22.5% Pinot Nero, so Pinot Noir, and 2.5% Pinot Bianco, so Pinot Blanc. The wine went through second fermentation, so 2 years on lees, 25 months to be exact on lees, but it does give you the brioche toasty feel that one would expect because of that. Again, because it's made the same way that champagne is made, in second fermentation in bottle. The other thing I'll mention about this wine, it is a blend of a couple of vintages. So the majority of the wine is from 2022. I want to say 77% is from 2022. And then as you go down, I think 18% is from 2021 and the remaining from 2020. But, knowing that the majority of what's in here is from 2022, if I think to the growing season in Franciacorta, I know it went through limited rainfall and fairly high temperatures. So what we had was a warm and dry growing season. It meant people had to pick earlier than normal, especially if you're making sparkling wine. You make Franciacorta sparkling wine. You want to make sure your Chardonnay and your Pinot Noir, they're retaining that freshness, so you have to pick early. Despite that, though, when I taste this, I can still tell that it's got a bit of ripeness and it was a riper year, but still delightful. Okay, so all right, now truly getting into the wine. So on site, it is a pale golden hue. I'm just gonna nose this with you guys. Green apple for sure. That's the Chardonnay, right? Some peach, lemon zest, and yes, brioche, that toasty feel, that lees aging. But it is a very fresh, aromatic nose, for sure. Very inviting. Okay, on the palate, fun stuff. It's dry. That's good. It's crisp. Baked apple again. Peach is there again. The brioche, kind of like a hazelnut drift comes in there. A lovely long finish mouth-watering acidity that just cleanses the palate. I cannot wait to have this with some food. It is delightful, a long finish, and a bit of a mineral edge that kind of grounds the wine on the palate. I think where this really shines is the texture, both from the lees aging, but also I think it has a lot to do with that near alpine type weather that they have. You know, it is wild Mediterranean. They still got a lot of cooling influences, so it gives you a nice, fresh, persistent mousse on the palate. This is a delightful wine. 12.5% alcohol. Oh my gosh, cannot wait to have this with food. Again, the Bosco Cuvée Prestige Extra Brut Franciacorta Edition 47. What I'm drinking this week. Delightful. So if you're someone who loves to reach for champagne, but you're looking for something new to try or to explore, the Bosco Cuvée Prestige Extra Brut Franciacorta is a fun place to start. These wines are clean, they're polished, they're elegant, but still approachable enough to explore regardless of your level of knowledge. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe so you never miss a What I'm Drinking This Week episode. Also, if you're looking for no fuss, no muss, more breakdowns like this, check out my blog, beverlycrandon.com. I'll put some links below in the description. But with that being said, cheers to you, and I'll see you next week when you get a chance to see what bottle has made it into my glass. Cheers.